Episode 423 of the Pancakes and Powerslams show features former WWE Hardcore Champion Steve Blackman will be on the show live for a P&P photo shoot. Just like always, ladies and gentlemen, P&P Nation, Rich Mob, let's go! Time it is. As always, let's have some fun. P&P Nation, are you ready? Wrench Mob, are you ready? All right, well, let's do this thing. Without further ado, let's go!
Yeah. You already know what time it is. It's that official time. Where we take this worldwide. Let's go. Listen. So now it's time to turn it up. Surf the radio waves as we begin to burn it up. We all up in your area like landscape. Definitely bringing you the power of pancakes. It's a mandate that you tune in. It's time to move out so we can move in and recognize that this is no illusion. I'm here to clear the air so that there is no confusion. It all started off in the book of Genesis when Jacob was wrestling with who he thought was his nemesis. And when the man saw he couldn't overpower him, he touched his hip but he really couldn't devour him. And from that point, then we hear a name change, rearrange the game, so now we gotta change lanes. So I'm here to let you know it's time to listen to the Pancake and Powerslam show. Let's go! Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Powerslam. Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Powerslam. Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Powerslam show. Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Powerslam. Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Powerslam. Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Powerslam show. Turn it up.
Ladies and gentlemen, episode 423 of the Pancakes and Powerslams show. I am Chris Featherstone. As always, we are live in living color, getting funky like a monkey, if you will, baby. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna have some fun as always. I've got them live now, buddy. There's no turning back. There is no turning back. We had a bit of a snag last time, but all is well this time. All is good to go. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, 423 episodes. Steve Blackman, how are you tonight, sir?
Good. Thanks for having me. How are you guys doing?
Doing wonderful, man. It's great for you to be on the show live with me tonight, man. I'm ready to have some fun.
All right.
Awesome.
So what do you have in mind? You got questions? People asking questions? You running slides? What are you doing?
Yeah, man. We're going to do the P&P photo shoot. We're going to do it Steve Blackman style. So we're going to jump right into it, and then a little bit of Q&A at the end. So just for all the fans who watch this, I've been doing this a lot since my 8th year anniversary show a few months back, a few weeks back, about a month ago, about 5 weeks ago with D'Lo Brown. So I've been doing it a lot with WWE guys. So I'll show you a slide. It's a slideshow.
Mm-hmm.
I'll show you a particular picture. All right, of course, the PG version, and I'll give you a picture and just tell me what you were thinking at the time, what the angle was, and that's it. You ready?
All right. Yep.
All right, here we go. All right. Here we go.
That's funny. Awkward moment. I mean, we had our differences. I mean, once he left WWF, we, talked and stuff, but nope. I had some issues with him early on.
Mm-hmm. This is your debut match, right? Survivor Series 90s.
Yeah, it was. I ended up having to tag with Vader back then. That was what, 96 or 97, something like that.
Survivor Series. Yep. Yeah, it was an odd pairing. I always thought that this four was kind of an odd pairing because it was the big Team Canada was real big at the time, right?
Yeah.
And the pairing that you all had there. Now, this was your first match in WWE in what, 8 years, I believe, because you had a dark in '89, right?
Yeah, I was actually supposed to start with them in '89, and that's when I went to Africa and then got sick, and I was sick for years.
Yeah.
I still tried to do the match with them, but I was so sick and just kept getting worse. I had no stamina and couldn't continue.
Yeah.
I tried on the road. I mean, I was just so ill I couldn't, pursue it at that time, but. Yes, I had those matches in '89, a couple of them, and then I tried to go back again in like the early '90s. A couple matches still felt like crap, and then fortunately, I got lucky that they took me back again in '96. I mean, I didn't think they'd take me back, but they did.
Yeah.
So.
Now, the when you came back in this run here, who was the person instrumental for giving you another opportunity?
I mean, ultimately it's Vince, but who brought it up to Vince? I don't remember if it was Pat Patterson or Jim Cornette.
Okay.
I think it was kind of both those guys had said something. And then I had talked to Vince at one of the house shows I was close by and, kind of agreed to give me a match and said he liked the match and so on. But since I hadn't been in the ring in so long, I had to go down to the developmental league for a couple of weeks just to polish up a bit before they put me back on the road. So that's what I had to do. Yeah,
absolutely. So was Vader stiff to work in the ring? That's what's typically said about Vader. Is it true in your eyes?
I mean, back in the late '80s, I think he was in early '90s. I think once he was in WWF, I mean, it might have been a little bit, but it wasn't real big. I mean, a lot of the guys wouldn't put up with that. They just start swinging back. But back in the late '80s, I mean, I think he was notorious for a bit of that.
Yeah. So we have three other than Michael Cole. We have three other people here. Let's talk about Goldust, or the artist formerly known as Goldust at this time. How's it working with Dustin?
I mean, I always got along with him all right. Now he was pretty easy to work with. Never really hung out with him, but I mean, I always got along with him in the locker room and worked decent matches with him.
Yeah. Mero, how was Mero?
I mean, even when we were in there for a while, I mean, we seemed to not hit it off after I left WWF, but he seemed to just like everyone after he left there.
Really?
When we were in there, once we did that one show with Benoit, he just seemed arguing about everybody on there and didn't have much good to say about anyone.
Yeah.
But I mean, I got along with him when I was in there. I mean, I got along with most of the guys pretty well.
Yeah, yeah.
But
yeah, this is a bit of the infancy of Rena, of Sable. Was she was she nice to get along with from your experience working with her, or working at least in Survivor Series this night?
Yeah, I mean, I got along with Reno. Okay, I mean, none of us really talked to her a whole lot. I mean, if we had to do an appearance, together here and there, we talk and stuff like that. But I mean, I never really, talked to her extensively. A couple minutes here and there, hello, stuff like that. So, yeah. But I mean, for the time I was in there with her, I mean, everything was cordial.
Yeah, yeah. And for those listening live, we are live, and just be sure to save. I see a bunch of questions here, so be sure to save the questions for the end. We are live. I definitely want to make that clear. All right, here's next.
I'm looking at the picture here, trying to figure it.
It's you defeating The Rock.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I should blow that up and frame it.
I'll send it to you.
But no, I mean, back then when I first in the first 6 months I was in there, I had an angle with the Nation, and it was good. No, it got over pretty well. I mean, some good matches with Farouk, Mark Henry, D'Lo, some of the ones with The Rock. I mean, like back then, the Nation, they were over, big as heels.
Oh yeah.
So if you're coming in as a babyface or a good guy and battling them, it was easy to get some pretty good pops from the crowd because people wanted to see, them get beat one way or another. So I enjoyed that part of it. That was a good angle for months. Yeah,
they put you in. I mean, they kind of put some mild rockets on you from the beginning. Who was instrumental in kind of giving you the go ahead to be in that big feud as soon as you got in? Just about.
I'm not sure who started that. I'll tell you, it's like when I first got back in, it was like I was still a bit run down from the years of being out of it and being sick and stuff. It was hard to be on the road. I was still tired and stuff like that, but sometimes I wish when I left Canada in '89, I was on the top of my game and it was polished. I wish I'd have gone right in like I was supposed to at that point, because my wrestling was just so much more polished. I felt like half of what I did in there was good and half of it was just okay. And that's frustrating to me. And it was just, from health issues, quite frankly. But nevertheless, I did have some good angles. Some of it went pretty well. But I don't know who was instrumental in putting that together. I was glad they did because it went well for, a while.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And it really helped you as far as just basically almost from day one coming into one of the hottest feuds there was in this time during the Attitude Era. That was a big deal. Now, were there anybody? I mean, I know that you could hold your own, and I'm sure there'll be a question about the infamous hold my own against the Big Show locker room story that a lot of people have talked about before. But as far as just this right now and this time in 1997, were there anybody or what was the general feel of Steve Blackman? Because, you have people back at that time trying to jockey for position and try to be, have that spotlight on Raw and things like that. And you had an opportunity to be right into a big feud. Was there any type of jealousy or resentment toward from a backstage standpoint, or was there respect?
I mean, I noticed it with a few guys, but the majority of them didn't seem to show any disdain for it, so to speak. I mean, you have to remember, when I got in there, a lot of those guys have had good spots. It's not like, no matter what I was doing in there, it's not like, oh, hey, here's Steve, we're going to put him, push him up here. I mean, here's, Austin, here's Taker, here's Kane, here's Rock. I mean, all these guys. I mean, they're all carrying the ball well. So, I mean, it's not like they're just going to thrust you above all those guys. But I mean, I was fortunate. I did have some good spots in there, and again, I should have carried the ball better on some of the angles. Some of those angles there, like that one there, those angles went pretty well. Some of the other ones, like I said, I mean, I had neck problems and I just felt like crap all around, but tried to fight through it and make the best of it. That's why I felt like half was good and half was okay. But I wish I could have done it all over again, younger. But like I said, I was fortunate they took me back in there. I was fortunate with the angles they gave me, and the years I put in, I'm pretty satisfied with a lot of it.
For sure, absolutely. One of your biggest wins of your WWE career, you would say?
Oh, over Rock.
Yeah.
I mean, that was we had a good angle going there.
Yeah.
So, fighting everybody in the nation, and it was a good pop at the end there, the way we pulled that off. I remember that match. I think, what's his name went to throw Rock my nunchucks, and they went over Rock's head, and I think I caught him and
you decked
him with him or whatever, or something like that.
Yeah.
So it was, I remember that it was a great pop from the crowd because they just wanted to see those guys get beat.
That's right.
At the time.
Yeah.
So
absolutely. Yep.
So I'm just looking off to the side here. My daughter's standing here trying to avoid getting put on camera.
No worries.
So,
that Survivor Series against the Mean Street Posse.
Yes.
Now, what do you remember of this match?
Truthfully, I don't remember much of it. I think it was okay, but I don't remember a whole lot of it.
Now this is about a year later, and this wasn't. It seemed like the WWE kind of took the Rockets off a bit, as like within probably a year or two. What was it? Why do you think that they did that? Because it seems like they had something really big planned for you. And I know I've interviewed 150 wrestlers, and the typical answer is, where Vince had something for me, and then they just kind of pulled the plug. Was there something for you as far as a title run or anything, and then they just did that? Or
I'll tell you what.
Sure?
I mean, like, for me, I'm pretty direct. I'm not putting the blame on anybody but myself. When they slowed me down for a while, this is my fault. I didn't. I should have worked the mic better. I should have put more time into working the mic. I should have been a little more charismatic in some of the matches, things like that. I'm not putting that on anybody but me. That was just my fault. But
I think that was your stick, though. I think that was kind of your gimmick of not really being the mic guy, being just kind of like the straight face. That's why I think Head Cheese works so well.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I mean, I agree with you to a certain point, but still, though, I mean, in that profession, that game, you still have to up your level, up your charisma, up the mic skills, things like that. And mine kind of plateaued. And then, so they still had a lot of the other guys up on top. They were pushing. So, I mean, half of it was my fault.
Got it.
So, I mean, I felt like a lot of the stuff in the ring was good, but if you're not doing the other stuff with it, you kind of get stuck in the same positions. And, and then, later on I had some good angles, but for a little while there, yes, I got lost in the shuffle.
Yeah.
What's that one? Oh, with
Kurt
Angle.
Yeah.
That was Kurt's first match when he came in on a pay-per-view.
Yeah. How was it working with Angle?
Kurt's a good guy. He's a good talent, good in the ring and good on the mic. So, he was good all around in there. Yeah.
Now, you were a huge contribution, to the success, the early success of Kurt Angle by allowing him going over with you at this time. You were still a quality name enough, for Angle to have a rub against. And that's, to me, seemingly it's a big deal. Now, kind of take us back into, how this was kind of all came about. Were you just a name chosen? Did he eye you? How did that all come about?
Well, I mean, the office puts the matches together. I mean,
yeah,
we see the card that day, and I didn't know I was wrestling him. Don't hold me to this. Give or take a couple hours.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know I was wrestling until like 3:00 in the afternoon.
Oh, really?
Or something. Yep. So, but no matter what's going on with the end of the match, you still have to perform, show your stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Think, because generally once the match is over, people are like, okay, that sucked, he lost, or yay, that was great, we wanted the other guy to win. They move on to the next match, but you're still expected to bust your butt out there, and try to up the game, what you're doing in the ring. You're always supposed to, put on a good show no matter what the outcome is.
Yeah,
you still want to make yourself shine when you can.
Yeah. Easy to get along with Angle backstage from your experience?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good stuff.
Oh, was this a tag match?
Yeah, it's the first head cheese match, SmackDown.
Oh, that's funny. That's crazy nonsense. Actually, was getting over. It got over well for months, and then somehow they kind of just pulled the plug on it. Our vignettes got over. The people popped in there. I mean, the pops were great for months and stuff, and then they kind of just slowed that gimmick down too.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. I don't know how long we did it exactly, but it was funny and fun for a while.
Yeah, I got super over. You went over Angle and Bulldog in this match, and that was huge too because Angle was still selling his undefeated streak at the time. And then during SmackDown, they were saying, well, Angle is still undefeated in singles. They still try to polish it as he's still undefeated, but. So with this here, with the origin or the beginning of the creation of you and Snow, now both of you are in a spot where you were just kind of mid-carders and not really getting a lot of exposure, not a lot of TV time. Now we had a lot of TV. We had as much TV time as the other guys, not on the mic, but in the ring we did. Singles. I'm talking about singles as far as before then. Before you and Snow got together. So what was did you have any type of input in you and Snow getting together? It just seemed like it was so random.
I don't remember how that worked out like that. I don't remember who put us together. I mean for a while we were on regularly. And then, but we didn't have any. We didn't have any big angles, so to speak, before the head cheese thing, right?
Right.
I don't know who put us together. I can't remember who that was. And then that vignette we did backstage with the head, him trying to come up with another name with head.
Yeah.
And they came up with that head cheese crap, and people popped on it and laughed at it, and it got over well because for me wearing that head cheese hat and stuff like that, that's just like not me whatsoever. Yeah. So it kind of got over, and
right.
And I was comical. I mean, he knows how to work the gimmick well. So
now, was that on the fly that vignette, or was head cheese the name that came before that segment?
We kind of came up with it like right before we did it. Something like that, and then I just said I'm not going to go out there and have 15,000 people calling me head cheese, and naturally that's exactly what they all did then, and kind of just went from there.
Yeah, so it was a bit of an organic type of name for y'all. Yeah, interesting.
And then it stuck.
Yeah.
The hardcore stuff.
Yeah, it's your first hardcore championship win, Crash Holly.
Yeah, that went. I was happy with that. The hardcore stuff. I mean, like I had that thing for like a year.
Yeah, you dominated.
I was happy that I got to showcase the weapons or all the stuff, all the gimmicks we used. So that was fun for a while. I mean, I enjoyed doing that, and. My God, I think I must have wrestled just about everybody in there in those hardcore matches.
Yeah. A bit of a side note. as a fan at this time, I was so happy that you changed theme songs. Now, to me, the first theme song, it fit you. It was kind of like a a fighter type of song, but for some reason, the nunchucksy sounding song to me just it just seems so like kind of Steve Blackman Turbo style type of thing. Now, which theme song did you like better?
I didn't. I didn't really have much of a preference. I was okay with either one of them. I really was. Um, I always liked Austin's entrance. The glass breaking guy was an attention grabber right off the bat. So same with a couple of the other guys. I mean, so I thought mine was okay. Either one. I didn't really have much of a preference.
The second one had a really good intro to it, though. It was kind of like the boom, boom, and then it went to the and then you had an opportunity to kind of do your nunchucks thing in the ring, and the arena went dark and kind of did the highlight on you and stuff like that. And so to me it was an extra layer to your gimmick, and that, to me it helped, as a fan back then, just an extra layer to your gimmick. So was it something that you had any type of input to, or just it was just like, let's just kind of put an extra layer on his gimmick?
I mean, I can make suggestions, but I mean, it's not like they just jump on anything I suggest. I mean, the office ultimately makes the decisions, right. So I mean, they can change it up when they want. But
were there any suggestions that you recall making that they declined, that Vince declined?
There might have been. I don't remember the examples offhand. I mean, that was 20 years ago now.
Yeah, over 20 years. Yeah.
So I mean, actually, for when I lived there in like 2003, but I mean, like when I was doing this was probably 2002 or something. So you figure out 18 years ago, whatever, when I was doing the hardcore stuff.
Yeah.
So I mean, I know I threw suggestions out there for different things, and sometimes they use them for yours, sometimes use them for other guys. I don't remember I can't even give examples, so I don't remember them. Yeah, that's part of the head cheese game. Al walking around that damn head. Oh, was it?
Yeah, WrestleMania.
What year was that one?
I think it's 16, y'all. And this is when Chester McChesterson or whatever his name came out, and I think y'all went against TNA that year. I think that was 16.
Was it?
Yeah, that WrestleMania 16. And 16 was in 2000, I believe, right? So you won the Hardcore Championship right before, like not too far before then. And this right here was in 2000 when you went Chester McCheeserton. Something like that. Yeah. It's when y'all went against TNA. So so let's talk about your WrestleMania experience, man. I mean, how was it? This was 20 years ago, 2000, WrestleMania 16. You're looking on the crowd here, because it seemed like you're ready to rock and roll. Just kind of take us back as listeners to how you were feeling this night at WrestleMania.
All the guys get into doing WrestleMania. I mean, the crowd's hyped; they're always ready to go.
Yeah.
So they're popping for stuff. So when you're doing stuff out there that you're working hard, it's pretty easy to get good pops from the crowd on that because they're hyped and ready to go.
Yeah.
So everybody looks forward to those nights. The crowds are huge, people are psyched, stuff like that. So if you're doing a good job out there, you should be getting pretty good crowd response all evening.
Yeah.
So,
were you pretty pumped about that? That night?
I mean, those nights are, make it worthwhile when you're out there in front of crowds like that and stuff.
Absolutely. All right, one more.
Oh, the one off the Titantron.
Yeah.
Top of that. Yep, that was a long way down. Shane was nuts. Took that thing backwards. Nothing on the floor. I don't know how he fell out and made it out that far. And now he dropped further than me. I came down about halfway.
Yeah.
To jump out with the elbow because there's no way I could just land in that little area from 60 feet up.
Yeah.
So I came down. I don't know. I mean, I was probably still 25 or 30 feet or something. I'm not sure what it was.
Yeah, it was pretty high.
It was high, and he took that. He fell backward about 60 feet, and but yeah, that was a good match that night because I mean, Teston Albert had interfered with him and stuff, but I thought that match was decent that night.
Yeah, yeah. This is.
I mean, like the whole match. I don't mean the outcome was great because
you won there. Look at that! Look at that arm being raised there. Good stuff, man. Well, that's it, man. That's. I hope you enjoyed it, man. That's
cool. Some good photos. Brings back some memories.
Yeah, bring back memories. You got time for a couple questions?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Hashtag Ask Steve, real quick, guys. Ask Steve. Hashtag Ask Steve. See, that's why I said save them to the end because I see a bunch, and I'm not going to go too far going back up here. Let's see. Hashtag Ask Steve. Hurry up with your Steve Blackman questions here. So before I start asking questions, man, go and plug your business, man. You're still doing the bonds, right? Bail bonds.
Yeah, I mean, I had an MMA school for almost 12 years, and I did my bail bonds business the last almost 11 years. So I had them together. I mean, I don't do the MMA school anymore. No timing. My kids are 8 and 12. I'm with them all the time. My daughter was doing gymnastics. I help coach my sons wrestling, baseball, stuff like that. So I'm busy with that, busy with bails, things like that. So
pretty successful bail bondsman. Who in the world would want to mess with Steve Blackman? So I mean, he's bail bondsman and extraordinaire. What's your company called?
Blackman Bail Bonds.
Blackman Bail Bonds in Pennsylvania, right?
Yeah, I do a certain amount of counties in Pennsylvania. I don't venture outside the state. There's like 65 counties in PA. I do 8 of them. You know, it's like a 70-mile radius that I try to 100-mile radius, I guess, that I stay in. But I mean, I do primarily Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, where I live.
Do you have a website or anything that I can plug real quick?
I mean, they can look out. They can get on Blackman Bail Bonds website. Blackman but again, like I said, it's solely for just certain counties in Pennsylvania.
Yeah. For those who are watching in Pennsylvania, I have people watching all over the country, and so for those Pennsylvania Blackman Bail Bonds, go there. Be sure to give my guys some support. All right, real quick, guys. Here we go. Good question. Actually, what are you winning the 24/7 title? Good question.
What's that? Oh,
what are you winning the 24/7 title?
That's funny. Are they still doing that in there all the time now?
I mean, it's kind of been subsiding since Gronk won back in WrestleMania.
Is that what he won, the hardcore?
Yeah, the 24/7 title. Yeah,
I didn't see that.
Yeah. So would you be interested if WWE calls you back to have a quick, that's the 24/7 is their new version of the hardcore, title. Would you be interested if WWE calls you back to have a cameo and win the 24/7 championship?
Maybe. I don't know. It's funny. Like once I left there, I moved on to the MMA. I had the MMA school. I put on MMA shows. I do my bails. I mean, it's funny. Once I left there, I figured, okay, I got fortunate. I went back for a while, and now it's time to move on. I don't know. I mean, I guess it's always tempting.
Yeah, indeed. Especially for a segment like this, man. You were one of the most dominant hardcore champions in WWE history. It would just be suitable if just for one night on Raw, we see Steve Blackman come back with his nunchucks and just deck somebody, win the 24/7 championship, and just add another championship to your resume, man. I think people would pop for that. So, absolutely. We would love to see you back, even if it's for one night.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah. All right. As one of my favorite feuds was with Owen Hart. Any good Owen stories?
Well, I have lots of Owen stories, but I mean, that's just extremely tragic what happened to him.
Yeah.
I feel horrible for his kids, but I mean, my God, I think that was 20 years ago already. Now that thing with Owen.
Yeah, 22, 98. Yeah.
Something like that. That's crazy how long ago that was, but yeah, I mean, one Owen story I've told before. We were in Japan and he had grabbed one of these fire extinguishers in the hall, being silly. I think he was just trying to blast it under my door, and the pin stuck, and it discharged the entire contents in the hallway. But I don't think that was intentional. I think he was just trying to mess with me or K9 or one of the guys,
Yeah.
And when it stuck, it was one of those extinguishers that takes the oxygen out of the air. Well, it discharged the entire hallway where you couldn't breathe anywhere near your door. So I went and opened the window. We're on like the 8th floor of the hotel, and I stuck my head out the window. I couldn't get my breath.
Yeah.
And when I looked down, like every room on the floor had a head sticking out their window because nobody could breathe in their rooms because that extinguisher sucked all the air out, the oxygen out of the air. I mean, or the oxygen out. You just couldn't get your breath. It was just filled with a white powder, and you couldn't breathe.
Yeah.
And, I held my breath and went walking back over, opened the door, looked, and you could see the footprints going back to Owen's room. And, but he was always, a prankster like that. That would get out of him. I mean, he was always up to something.
Yeah, always. He was Rib King for sure.
He was.
Lexi saying, considering your background in martial arts, do you believe that WWE missed out on fully utilizing your talent? Is there an angle you presented to creative that wasn't used?
I could have done more, but at that time, I mean, like I said before, I should have I should have raised the bar on my mic skills and put more effort into that to keep getting a better spot.
Yeah.
I mean, they could have used me a little better on some things, but I should have done better on the mic and some charismatic points of view and things like that. So, I mean, it was both.
Mm-hmm. Mike says, after you left WWE, did any other companies make you an offer?
I don't remember what, I mean, I had talked to some people about some things. I mean, like some of them were overseas first. I just, once I left there, I left because like my headaches were so bad. My neck was so bad. I just could hardly stand it anymore. So, I mean, I had my neck operated on a year after I left. Well, it took another year till I could even use my arm right. Because the nerve was pinched that bad. So I really wasn't entertaining going anywhere. I just wanted to try to feel good again. And, it took away a lot of my headaches and a lot of the pain and stuff like that. And I had another neck operation about a year and a half ago. So, I mean, it's a whole lot better. I used to have just a horrible neck twitch and stuff because I was just in pain constantly. So having 2 of the neck operations, I got, more of the bone spurs removed. So it's dramatically better. But I really wasn't trying to go anywhere when I left there.
Got it. Jeff says, what are some of the weirdest encounters you've ever had with fans?
Well, some of that might be better left unsaid. But I mean, okay. When I was in Africa, when I was wrestling there, going to the ring, they like the fans, most of them were adult men, and they literally try to attack you there. I mean, you have to watch your back, so make sure you don't get stabbed, make sure you don't get hit with a chair. I mean, it's crazy there.
Wow. I got a few more, and we're going to cut it. We're going to cut it after the couple after this, guys. Elvis says, who did you love working with the most? Have you wrestled in Colorado?
Yeah, we wrestled in Colorado. That was part of the circuit. Who do I like working with the most? Most of the guys at that level, I mean, are good. But to work with like some of the guys that were like big heels, it's easier to work with them because it's easier to get good pops when you're doing stuff to them because the people just hate them. So if you're a good guy and you're wrestling, the most hated guys in there. So I mean, I have to say something like that. Or if I'm a bad guy, then wrestling, the guys that are over the most, because it's easy to work a match like that because people just love you or hate you that much. It's easy to work the crowd.
Yeah. All right, 2 more from people who haven't asked a question yet. I appreciate there's flooded with questions because people, but Steve Blackman is still over, ladies and gentlemen. Steve, you're still over, man. There's a lot of questions here. So there's 2 more from people who haven't asked yet. So Corey, what's your favorite story of Howard Finkel?
I don't have much on Howard. I mean, I got along with him.
Mm-hmm.
I never really hung out with Howard. Just hello, I talk with him, get along with him a lot, but I don't really see him outside of the arena. I don't really have many Howard stories.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I guess we kind of already talked about this with the previous question. Thanks for asking, Nick. All right, last question, Marissa. What made you leave WWE?
Well, at that point in time, I was tag teaming with
Brian
Brian Christopher.
Yeah,
and he had gotten in trouble going into Canada, so it screwed up our tag team. It screwed up the gimmick that we had going. And my neck was so bad at the time when he screwed that up, and then he got fired. The office didn't have anything for me at that point because we were actually going to ride that out for the next year.
Mm-hmm.
And they knew my neck was bad. They knew I had headaches every day, so they said go get my neck fixed. So I left to get my neck fixed. They said if I can get 100% clearance, I can go back whenever. But nobody would have cleared me at that point. I said it took me. I got my neck operated on a year later. I was trying to put it off, but I was hoping I'd get it would go away without the operation, and it didn't. Mm-hmm. So I had that done, and then I had nerve damage for another year and stuff like that. So that's kind of how that panned out. But I left because I had headaches every other day.
Got it. Well, my guy, it's been fun, man. I hope you enjoyed yourself. It was well worth the back and forth that we
cool.
have had.
Well, thanks for having me on. So you guys good? You got no more questions or?
Well, I mean, there's plenty of questions, but I want to be respectful for your time. So, it's one of those things. So, yeah, I mean, I can ask another one or two if you have time. I mean,
go ahead. I'm good for a couple more. And then
all right, let's do. I'm trying to find another one. Someone who didn't ask yet. Okay, here we go. Jamie, how did you get along with Ken Shamrock and Dan Severn?
Ken and I were close. We rode together for a couple of years. I got along with Dan well too. Dan wasn't in there real long. For what it was, the time period he was in there, we all got along. Mm-hmm. Ken and I were really good friends. Severn and I were okay friends, but Dan wasn't in there very long. Yeah. Dan's better at the MMA stuff.
Yeah. Speaking of MMA, perfect segue for the last question. Shane's asking, who inspired you to get into martial arts?
I started that when I was about 13, so that was a long time ago. I used to love watching Bruce Lee flicks and stuff like that. So,
So Bruce Lee's the answer.
I'm gonna have to say that. I mean, him and Chuck Norris. I mean, obviously, when I was growing up,
Chuck Norris,
two guys I used to watch all the time. So it would have to be those two.
Nice. Once again, everybody, for those who are in Pennsylvania, Blackman bail bonds. If you need someone to talk to get you out and get you. I'll say this much: Pennsylvania, beware, because Steve Blackman is out. And Steve Blackman bail bonds for those in Pennsylvania. What's your kind of epicenter area for those?
I focus primarily on like Harrisburg.
Okay.
That's where I live. That's where I know everyone, stuff like that. So that's where I focus.
Cool.
I have a couple of guys that work with me. We kind of just split them up. I don't run a whole lot like I used to. Like I said, I'm content doing stuff with my kids and working here. And
yeah.
So now the kids are home all the time, with no school. So we do stuff here. So I just got done telling my son, well, tomorrow we're gonna, we're doing some boxing and jiu-jitsu tomorrow. And
nice.
You tell my daughter that, and she keeps telling me no and running out of the room. And so, but he does it. So I have a second garage that are like wrestling mats and weights and stuff like that. So we have a place to do it.
Good stuff. Mike is saying thanks, man. Steve, it's been a pleasure, man. Appreciate you coming on the show tonight.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. That was awesome. Y'all. Appreciate the participation is the word we're looking for, as always. Appreciate the participation. that was really cool. It was definitely worth. Steve's a nice guy. We had the snag when he was in night court. That's that one time, but he messaged me and left a message for you all to come back. We finally had an opportunity to get our schedules together to be able to do it live. We were going to do. It's funny because we were going to do recorded, and then our schedules didn't meet up again. And he was nice. He's nice enough. He's like, you know what? Because he typically don't do it this late when he's not. He's usually up this late when night court and things like that. But he said he's usually not up this late anymore because of the corona restrictions. And he was like, you know what, man? Because of all these back and forth scheduling, I'll just do it live with you, man. And because I'll just give it to you live. I'm not gonna. I usually am, not up an atom at this late, but for you, man, I'll do it live because we keep going back and forth. So big kudos to Steve Blackman for that, man. A very very noble thing for him, a very professional thing for him to do, a very respectful thing for him to do. So big shout out to Steve Blackman to join us live tonight. Thanks, Ryan. Thanks, Mike. Very rare interview. Chris, good get. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. I'm all about getting those rarities, man. I love the rare interviews. I don't even know when the last time Steve Black was interviewed by anybody. When was Steve originally scheduled? It was a while ago, man. It was a while ago. Let me check and see. Because I posted the message that he gave me when he called me and apologized and sent it to y'all. So that was in February. Yeah, so episode 413 is when he was supposed to be on. And it's 423 now. So that was 10 weeks ago. So that was 2.5 months ago. That was when he was originally supposed to come on. Oh, really, Mike? Oh, no. Yeah, 2.5 months ago. So it was around mid-March. So who's next? That's first of all, Carmine. Welcome, Carmine, to the show. PNP Nation. For the Carmine, let me give you the skinny. Jeff, thank you for being a part of the Pancakes and Powerslams show tonight. Everybody, welcome Carmine to the PNP Nation. For those who are just joining, who just joined the Pancakes and Powerslams show, just joined us live. Listen, this is one of the funnest experiences that you will have as a professional wrestling podcast. Very interactive, very fun. We call it's a family atmosphere here. The PG show. We call it the PNP Nation. As far as the family, we have fun. I am Chris Featherstone. I'm a pro wrestling journalist. I've been a pro wrestling journalist for about a decade now. You can find work. I've written for Sports Illustrated. I've written for Fox Sports. I was a feature columnist at Bleacher Report for about 3.5 years. I've written for the Inquisitor. I was a columnist there. I do freelance for Digital Spy. I work with Wrestling Rumors, and I just got a new position to do WWE writing for a really huge company that has over 1 million Facebook followers in their group. So check that out. Coming soon. So I'll post that on my Facebook. So PNP Nation, you get a sneak peek, you get an exclusive. But I did get it offered another opportunity to be able to write WWE for a huge company. So I'm excited about it. And PNP, you get the sneak peek, you get the breaking news and I'll announce it on my Facebook and Twitter, and that's my Twitter right there. So be on the lookout. All right, my guy, Robbie. Chris is like a big brother you wish you had, Carmine. I appreciate that, man. That's awesome. Thank you, Marissa. Thank you very much. How's everybody doing, man? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? I'm not ready for WWE. No, I'm not. You know what? You know what's so funny about this? So Antoine, Mo, you said I'm running for WWE of mine. You said JK, I wish. So here's the funny thing about this. Someone actually asked me this question. I've been asked this question before. Okay. I do not think that I will be able. I don't think that I will write for WWE. Like I cannot imagine myself being a part of that fold. I'd rather be the freelancer. Like I'm a freelance guy, and yeah, that's just who I am. Because here's the thing, I'm in a matter of weeks, a matter of a couple weeks, I'll be finished with my last chapter of my dissertation, and then I have to go through all the moving parts and all the linkages to get oral presentation and approval. My birthday's in July. Y'all know my birthday, July 2nd. I have a birthday edition of the P&P show. My goal is to finish up my chapter and go through all the other parts. I want to just finish up by my birthday, and by the summertime, I'll be a doctor. So there's no way in the world that I can the exhausting, laborious, just time consuming, strenuous process that I've been through to become a doctor. I do not think that I will give that up to write for WWE. Now, I'd consider after I get my doctorate, because I will still do some, maybe some just private practice stuff. But there's no way in the world, no, you couldn't pay me $1 million to give up what I've gone through to become a doctor, weeks away from becoming a doctor. At this point in time in my life right now, there's no way I would give it up to write for WWE. You could pay me $1 million, I wouldn't give it up, because I went through so much to get this, and I've bust my butt, man. Like for all those, I love that, Mike, Doctor of Economics. I love that. Yeah. So I mean, there's no way in the world. You can pay me $1 million. There's no way in the world that I would do it. I always tell people, man, listen, if you, for those who are considering becoming a doctor or having any type of dream or aspiration, get you a good community, get you a good support system, because man, it is not for the weak at heart to pursue a doctoral journey, especially in what I'm going to get it in. I'm about to be a doctor in forensic psychology, and that was just, oh my gosh, just the process is long and drawn out. So good, very good topic, Mo, but no, there's no way I would do it. There's no way I would do it. So Robbie, yeah, it was Mo that brought up that topic. All right, let's do some Ask Chris questions. What y'all got? I kind of want to freestyle tonight. I mean, there's some WWE news. There's some Money in the Bank trivia that I have, that I wanted to have. Money in the Bank, we're going to do the predictions. Hashtag Ask Chris. So for those who are just For those who are new to the PNP Nation, listen, we have fun. It's a chill out spot. It's a hangout spot. We just have fun, PG style, lots of fun every single week. The best, the best chat on the planet, the best chat on the planet. PNP Nation is the best in the planet as far as fans of the show. Can't listen. You guys are so awesome, so amazing. I really appreciate y'all. I can imagine having an ounce of the amount of fun that I have every Tuesday. This is a very, speaking of psychology, this is a very cathartic experience for me every Tuesday because I have such a huge and busy schedule. Such a busy schedule that coming here with y'all on Tuesday nights is very cathartic, and I really enjoy doing it because it's a reset button. It's a point of excitement of my long busy week. Now I'm blessed to do everything that I do. I absolutely love doing. I'm a mental health specialist. I'm a journalist. I'm a podcaster. I love it absolutely, but it's a lot. It's a lot. All right, let's see. Ask Chris. Since you have over 400 shows, I was wondering how you came up with the title Pancakes and Powerslams. I'm assuming it was before New Day. Yes, Shane. I've been asked this question a few times over the past 8 years, and I gladly answer every time. So the short version of this question, Shane, is that Pancakes back in 2011, I just wanted to just dive into podcasting, and I was like, you know what, I've been a journalist. I just started journalism too, like around that time, like as far as like sports and media, like for real journalism. I wrote before then. So in 2011, I was like, you know what, I've been writing, this year, and I want to continue to grow. I love learning and growing and expanding. I love that. So in 2011, I was like, you know what, this podcast stuff, I don't know anything about it really. I was listening to a few wrestling podcasts to try to get into it. I was like, I'm just going to jump right into it. I'm a very calculated person, but when it goes to something that I know that I'm going to grow in, I don't mind jumping into it. And it'll help grow me too. I don't mind jumping into it. So that's what I did with podcasting. I was like, you know what? I'm going to find hosts. I'm going to do that. Real good friend of mine still to this day, my dude Ryan, he's still on the Crave Wrestling media team. And so I was like, I pulled him aside. I pulled a few people aside, but he was like on it. He jumped up and it was on it. And he was like, yeah, I'm with it. And so it was him and I. He co-hosted for so we started the WrestleMania, the Tuesday after WrestleMania in 2012. That was the first episode. And I think it was April 3rd, 2012, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe April 2nd, but I think it was April 3rd, 2012. First episode, just raw as ever. just raw as a hamburger from raw as a pound of ground beef, man. I mean, it was just raw and uncut and ugly. I mean, if you Blog Talk Radio, go, I still have my audio through there, and you could just go in our archives and trace it back to the first show, and it was raw. It's funny you asked that. Let me try to find. I'm gonna show you what Shane. I'm showing you what I used back then. It's funny because this is the last time you'll see this set because I'm moving, and and so I'm changing my whole setup. I spent I made a quite a large investment in getting a whole new podcast setup. I'm making a whole brand new podcast studio. So I made a big investment. So I got a table, a whole setup that's for 4 people, 4 chairs, 4 mics. I'll be having a different mic too. I appreciate this mic. This mic has been through some things. But I just again, I like to grow and expand. I love that. And so I spent money on some good sound equipment, just a whole setup. So it's been boxed up for about a month because my wife and I are and 3 kids were moving into a home. This home is spacious, but we got a bigger home. So yeah, and it's a whole different setup. So you'll see a whole different setup as of next week. So this right here was for the first, I don't know, probably year or two. This was what you heard. This is inside. This is removing the curtain, removing this is behind the veil here. This right here, and I was just throwing it away because I'm moving. I'm cleaning up my studio area, and so this right here, you get to see the inside of the Pancakes and Powerslam show. This phone was the phone that I used for about two or three out of the 8 years of this show. So, and then again, I wanted to grow and expand. I'm all about branding. Like branding is big on me. Like I'm still learning and growing in branding, but I'm really big on being sure to brand. So this was it right here, and I'm cleaning up, and I just threw it away. So, well, I made sure to dig it back up for you, Shane. So yeah, that was it. That was my equipment for about the first 3 years of my show, and yeah, and I moved to this guy with the arm and the protector and all that. So yeah. That's that. So since 2012, 423 episodes, 423 straight weeks. I've interviewed over 150 wrestlers, dozen WWE Hall of Famers, maybe a dozen more soon to be Hall of Famers. So, and here we are today. So, my favorite technical wrestler of all time. Great question. Ricky Steamboat, hands down. What company I've been writing for? I opened the door. See, wrestling's all about cliffhangers. So, cliffhanger, man, cliffhanger. What I think about Vince or WWE trying to remove Roman off of everything I heard. See, what I heard was that was for a reason. I heard it was to kind of freshen people up to when he comes back. So. That's what I heard. If that's the case, I'm cool with that. Yeah, I'm cool with that. I don't have a problem with that. It doesn't make sense to be petty and bitter, which doesn't go too far off of WWE at times, but it doesn't make sense because Roman made a health decision, a very good health decision, to remove him from things just because of bitterness and pettiness. That wouldn't make sense. So I'd imagine there's some rhyme and reason to that, if that's even a thing. I'd imagine that there's a suitable reason for that, because Roman Reigns is the guy. He's the WWE guy. So there's no way they would do something that petty, I believe. What I think of WWE selling Max for $12.99. It's a business, man. It's a business. I mean, people. I scroll up and down my Facebook page daily, and I see people selling masks. WWE is no different. So, picks to win Money in the Bank. Ask me that at the end of the. Ask me that in about 30 minutes, Marissa. That we plan on doing the Money in the Bank predictions. Money in the Bank predictions. What else we got? Hashtag Ask Chris. Hashtag Ask Chris. What I think about Raw ratings dropping it to a record low. I mean, what the crazy thing about it is? You know how I come in here like since Rona season, and I totally bash Raw because Raw is just about unbearable to watch every single week. Like I usually start late and just because I have no desire to watch it. It's just terrible to me. So, I mean, it doesn't surprise me. Honestly, it doesn't surprise me at all. I don't see it getting any better. I mean, and it's sad because Drew McIntyre is a fantastic WWE champion at this time. But let me say this. And here's a bit of critique. Now, I'm huge, and Drew's one of my top favorite wrestlers. Super nice guy. He's been on this show before. But I don't think Drew McIntyre should be champ with these conditions. I'm super glad that he won it, but I think a heel should be champ right now, just because the money's in the chase. And I'm a babyface guy. I love baby faces. Grew up loving baby faces. My top 5 all time, at least 3 of them: Sting 1, Dusty 2, Steamboat 3. Those are 3 of the best baby faces of all time. And so, huge babyface fan. And in these times, I think a heel should be champ just because of just because there's no crowd, and there's a better storyline when there's a baby face that's just kind of chasing. There's a better sense of intrigue in that sense, especially in this particular time, because you don't really have the baby face. See, there's two good types of intrigue, babyface type of positions, right? So you have the chase, which is very intriguing. The money's in the chase typically, with the babyface chasing the heel champion, and then you have the against all odds type of babyface title reign too. If you have a bunch of oppositions, Austin was really good with doing that during the Attitude Era. So it was Austin versus McMahon, and McMahon threw a bunch of people at him: Triple H, Kane, Taker, Foley. So he threw a bunch of people at Austin, and he was champ. And so he was chasing, and he had the title for a while. So Austin would overcome odd after odd after odd while being champion. So that was a huge intrigue too. So those are 2 of the biggest type of babyface runs that are really exciting. You really don't have the against all odds. They're kind of doing that now with Zelina Vega for a little bit, but they're not high enough on the card, and they're doing it with Rollins and Buddy Murphy type of thing. But yeah, I mean, it's just not intriguing. It's not exciting enough for Drew McIntyre to be champion right now. And Drew McIntyre is one of my favorite people on WWE, in all of pro wrestling. One of my top 5 right now, hands down. But I just don't think it's a good call for me, because the chase would be better for me to be intrigued into watching Raw if a heel was champion and I wanted the heel to be dethroned. For me, that would be a better thing for Raw, because it's so stretched out. It's so 3 hours. Like SmackDown's okay. Actually, SmackDown's decent. I mean, for what we see, but it's in 2 hours, and Braun's champ, and I'm actually cool with the monster kind of defeating all the odds and dominating the champion. Being champion. I'm cool with that. Drew was huge, absolutely huge, as far as physical wise, but I mean, there's not much intrigue because the chase is from one of the biggest heels in the company right now, so it's kind of awkward to have that type of feel on Raw. Apollo Crews, I treat my guy so bad, man. I did kind of say, my predictions on what they're going to do with Apollo Crews. So, I still think they'll do. I'll still think they'll do that. They'll do that with Crews. I'll still think they'll do that with Crews. All right. Let me answer one more. Can you give us a tour of the setup in my room? Well, I mean, this is it. This is the last if you'll see it before I get my new studio. But I'll have a screen up. I'll have a podcast table with enough to seat to really host 5. Actually, yeah. So I'll be able to have much more. It'll be a studio. It'll be a really nice studio with a table, 4 chairs, well 5 including my stuff too, and then 5 mics, and then I'll have multiple camera angles. I'll be doing that too. So I have a tripod with a screen. Like it's you're going to be seeing the a whole different thing. It'll be 2 cameras, at least 2 cameras. So as the weeks progress, like you're going to see like a real deal show. Like, I mean, PMP is a real deal show, but like the professional game will be up, like super elevated, starting next week and following as the weeks progress. So it's going to be super awesome. All right. Do I watch? Oh yeah, dude, Mo, I watch Dark Side every week. Love it, absolutely. Mike, man, hey, don't play with me, man. Don't play with me. You produce it. All right. Hit me up, man. Message me because I'm definitely I love to learn, man. I'm always open ears, open eyes when it comes to learning and growing, branding wise. And so this is all self-taught. All this here, all self-taught. I'm a PhD student. I'm a PhD candidate. I love research. I'm a Christian apologist. I love researching. I research every day. I'm such a nerd. So I research about production, video editing, and flyer making and all that stuff. I research that stuff all the time. So absolutely. All right. So without further ado, but yeah, I watch dark side shows every week. Mo, I absolutely love it. I watched Dr. D last week. My dude Evan had Dr. D on the show, actually. And yeah, I think my favorite one so far has been probably Snuka. I really enjoyed the Snuka one. I wrote a pretty long piece about it. I think so. I think that's been my favorite one so far. Brawl for All was good too. I don't know. Well, I'll look at all the ones. I'll look at all the episodes so far. But without further ado, here he is, ladies and gentlemen, the co-host with the most, Evan Tech Proud. How are you tonight, sir?
Good. Did I just hear upgrade to the professional? Did I? A tear in my eye.
Right. What a tear in my eye.
I gotta do the Ric Flair, fall down on your back and then wait.
Right.
Oh God. Oh God. Going on, man. All right. Had some
Yeah,
connection issues.
I'm looking forward to see the UWF one too, man, for sure.
Yeah, some
Uh,
had some connection issues. I apologize. My power went out for a second, and I had to reboot my router and all that. What's going on, Mercy? What's going on, Anton? Mo. Shout out to Angry Mark right Brown who turned 65 today. Shout out to you, brother.
Return to 65. Nice.
Yeah, Dark Side of the Ring. I didn't watch the her one yet, but Dr. D was great.
Mhm.
Favorite one, man. I don't know. I like the new Jack one.
Yeah, the New Jack.
Yeah, that was
Oh
that
God.
was something else.
Oh man, that was
Yeah, I
nuts.
spoke the new
My
Jack.
heart really goes out for him, man. Like I
Yeah,
have like I have like thug tears for him, bro. Like I just
Thug tears.
like,
Hashtag
I have thug
Thug
tears
tears.
for New Jack because like I really feel for him, man. He just really seems like a lost soul, man. Like I just
Yeah.
it's just so sad, really,
But you
man.
know what's creepy about New Jack is he looks mean all of the time. Because I talked to him a few times at shows. When he smiles, that's scary.
Really?
That's when you know. Like this, my man New
Like
Jack
he up
is
to something.
like when if New Jack is smiling at you, you're in trouble.
Yeah. He got
Um,
something.
you might be right.
What Mike say?
Yeah, he said I'll be hosting before the hunts in Alaska in November.
Yeah,
Payback.
right.
Nah, I'm happy, man. Thug
Right.
tears.
Absolutely.
We got
Hashtag
look.
tears.
Hey, look, PNP Nation. How about this? We gonna get shirts after the pandemic. It's going to say hashtag Thug Tears and
That's
then
me.
hashtag Boo Bears.
Yeah.
We all know.
Yes, we're gonna have a Thug Tear shirt and a Boo Bear shirt. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. and then and then forever, your favorite wrestler, you know,
Yeah, exactly right.
blank
Boo
is
Bear.
my Boo Bear. Yeah.
Yeah, Blink is my Boo Bear. Sting, Mo
Like if
Love.
Randy Savage is your Boo Bear, you'll have like a teddy bear with like Savage
Yeah,
glasses.
Savage. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, write that down.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
tender time. That's right. Hashtag tender time.
Yeah. Thug Tears and Boo Bears.
You know what, Shane? I'll admit, I have Shane said Gino Hernandez. I have to watch that episode.
That was last season though.
Yeah, I'm behind on the
Yeah.
hashtag toast. Yeah, man. I don't know
For
what you
this
thought.
for this week, I mean for this season, man, there's been some good ones.
Yeah, I mean, all of them was good. Benny Wild, Dr. D.
Yeah, Benoit was really good.
Yeah, that was.
Oh, yeah, that
And
might be my favorite one.
I'm not mentioning names because they didn't want to be mentioned, but I had texted two of my friends and a few of the boys that was in WWE around that time. They
Mhm.
said it was really hard for them to watch. Even people that haven't, there's not even wrestling fans, like personal friends, colleagues. It was man, Bill Wall's hard to watch. It's
Mm.
hard to watch. So all of them again, man. You still got was it the Road Warriors episode coming up? Um,
Yeah, what a rush.
trying to think of trying to see what other episodes it is. Um, but what about season 3, man? Like, what else can you talk about?
Yeah, that's
It's a
that's a
lot.
good point. That's a really good point. Um, what else would there be? Let's see.
Yeah, we only got 2 episodes left.
That's because I said what? Well, yeah. What's next? I mean, today was UWF, and what's the rest of them?
UW today. So next week is the last ride of the Road Warriors, and the season finale. Season finale is the final days of Owen.
Owen.
Yeah.
Oof. Oh, that's gonna be good.
So I mean, I don't know. I don't know, fans, what y'all think. Just
That's a good question. What
trying
else
to
is there? I mean, I'm sure there's stuff to talk
trying
about.
to get the Dino. The Dino.
Oh,
episode.
it'll be good.
Ooh.
Heroes of Wrestling. 99. Oh,
you
that'd
want,
be really
you want
good.
21?
Yeah.
I got
And I
22.
think yeah, I think that would be good. I think that would be good.
Hey, Rose.
Jake was drunk and been swinging his snake
You
around.
want 21? He doesn't remember that night either. I asked him.
I interviewed the promoter on that
Yeah, you
actually.
did. You
Yeah,
did.
yeah, and that was actually
Um,
that's on WrestleZone. So I don't know, that's
yeah.
probably like about 5 years ago. Uh,
Uh,
yeah,
it was the steroid era.
say that again.
The whole steroid trial. Early
Yeah,
90s.
yeah, yeah. That's a good one. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I love. Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Steroid.
Yeah,
Someone said Pillman.
Pillman. Yep, for sure.
Uh,
Pillman's really good.
China. So
Yeah,
all these got to be depressing. There's no good stories with Dark Side of the Ring. So it has to
right,
be
right. It
like
has to be just real dark. Has to be really dark.
draws.
Yeah, well, they kind of highlighted draws for Brawl. Was it Brawl for All? Oh no, was it? Who was it? Um, yeah, I think it was Brawl for All story that draws had a lot of.
Uh, they're close to us. Mike Ryan said X Rotten.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a good one too. Axel Rotten's good. Test, Test will be good. Canyon, I think Canyon will be good too. You know, unfortunately, he killed himself. Um, let's think about
Yeah.
like, and this is grim, unfortunately, but let's think about this, like the suicides. Um, oh gosh, what's that indie wrestlers that recently committed suicide like a year or so ago? I forgot what his name is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and you talking about
One of y'all know it. One of y'all know it. Um, who was that indie guy who committed suicide like a year or so ago? It was recent. Somebody know it. People keep saying Abdullah the Butcher, but I mean, there's not a dark story with him. There's not a dark story. I mean, he's still up and doing indie shows and he's still doing indie shows and autograph signings and stuff. So yeah, what's that guy's name? PNP Nation. Who's that? Who's that
yeah.
guy's
Who's that?
name? Who's the guy's name who recently, unfortunately killed himself? Hey, welcome David to the show.
Hey David, what's
First
going
time
on?
watching. I'm truly enjoying. Appreciate that, David. PNP Nation,
Oh,
give David some love. Give David some first time welcome love. What other
Mike.
first timers we have on here?
Mike mentioned Stan Hansen. What negativity
Hmm,
Stan?
no, he's a WWE Hall of Famer.
That,
Yeah,
yeah, I don't think they would touch. I don't think they would touch Abby. My buddy Hannibal. With him giving Hannibal hepatitis
see,
and
yeah,
Hep C. Yeah,
yeah, they won't do that.
yeah,
No.
they're not touching that. Gosh, it's man. I mean, we been.
Who was
What do
that
you think of that?
indie guy's name?
I can look it up.
Hmm.
Let me see. Who is
Somebody know who he is. Come on, PNP Nation. Y'all supposed to know.
Help us out. Come on. Come on. Help us out. Done. Get Roman Reigns off the chair. Get him off. Get Roman off the intro. Get him. Just erase it. Chris Benoit him. Get him in an encrypted folder.
Right.
Temporary encrypted. CM Punk. You know what? That's a trigger for me, man. I'm so glad.
Yeah, why would they do a dark side? What's dark about CM Punk?
What?
It's so dark and grim.
Man.
I gotta ask going
They
butt.
did a screw job. I'm trying to think of what had. Oh, I got one. Brother Bro. The whole Bash at the Beach controversy. The whole Russo Bash at the Beach 2000.
Yeah.
The whole.
Yeah, is that dark enough though? Like you gotta be dark.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Matt Travis. Is that the person's name, Mo?
That name sounds familiar. Maybe it is.
Okay, let me check and see.
I got it. Hell in a Cell.
Oh no, that was in a car crash. No, he didn't kill himself. There was a person who killed himself.
Hell in a Cell. What about King of the Ring 96? Hell in a Cell. Foley.
Mm.
Almost died. I know I'm stretching here. Someone say Chris Candido. ECW.
No, I mean there's not. Again, it's just not dark. Oh yeah, that would be good. This is good.
Yeah.
Sure.
You remember Chris when we was with him? Remember Nash's party? He was doing the chops with the fan at the call the cops. The cops
Yeah,
came and broke it up. That was a crazy night, man.
it was a crazy night. Yeah, that was.
Funny. Mike Ryan said Kurt Angle, Jeff Jarrett, Hop.
Oh yeah. This. See, the thing is, yes, it would be a good episode, but they touched a lot of this on the Randy episode, though. So yeah, I think they'll probably. Yeah, I think they'll probably do that.
It's sad. You gotta think about death. What are some deaths in wrestling that you did? Gino, they did Dino. They did one on the Von Erichs already.
Yeah.
They went on the Hearts.
Man, I'm gonna bug me. That's gonna bug me. Yeah, I like the Brian Christopher one. Let me look at this real quick.
What about?
What about the Renegade?
Gosh, he couldn't even do a drop kick. Oh my gosh, that.
Yeah.
Remember his first theme music, man? I had that on VHS, uncensored '95, I think it was '96.
Yeah, Alonzo Brizard had an episode. I had one episode one. No, I don't remember his name. Yeah, I knew Ashley Mazzaro. I know she died last year.
Yeah, man.
That hit our friend of the show, Trinisha, real bad.
Yeah,
Rocker Khan. Yeah, because they were really really good friends. Oh, what about Ludwig Borga? He committed suicide.
He did?
Yep.
Didn't know that.
Yep. Back in 2010, self-inflicted gunshot wound. Yeah, that's a good one. Ludwig Borga that's gonna bug me if who is what somebody in the PNP Nation find out who that was. Find out who that was. All right, so let's get into the headlines. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you know what time it is. Y'all know what time it is, ladies and gentlemen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Headlines. AJ Styles brought back to boost ratings.
Oh man,
unfortunately that didn't work, but
1.6.
They're realizing a decline, and even with AJ back, that didn't do anything. So
and the soul still burns.
Yes,
1.6 average.
I mean.
Man. Even for me, man, I'm gonna tell you, even for me, it is tough to watching wrestling now, man. No fans, Raw, Dynamite, NXT. It's tough.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Sean O'Hare.
Yeah, he committed suicide. Yeah,
he hung himself. That's right.
Hung himself. Yeah. Wow. That fans, that might be on to something. They might be doing a whole episode dedicated on a couple parts of this self-inflicted like suicides.
Gosh.
Yeah, Sean O'Hare committed suicide. Crash Holly.
Yeah.
Ashley.
Oh my gosh, I forgot all about that. Interesting. Terrible, but sad. Incredibly sad.
Yeah. My
All right.
buddy Trevor Murdoch, his partner, Lance
Yeah,
Cage,
yeah. I think
committed suicide too.
did he? Did
Yeah,
he?
he did.
Did Kate?
Yep.
Oh, he died by something else. Oh, you know
Yeah.
what?
Committed suicide. Because I remember I had Murdoch on my show. I remember he was getting still emotional about it.
Accidental drug overdose is what it says. So
Oh, was it accidental? I thought it
yeah,
was suicide.
accidental. But I mean, he was overdosing on drugs. But all right, so let's talk about AJ. Yeah, so AJ, he comes up from the grave. He was buried a month ago, but obviously there ain't no grave. Get a hold of my body.
Buddy down.
There ain't no grave.
Oh
Get
man.
hold my body.
Buddy down.
So,
I know.
so a
You know
month
what? People were
later.
singing that in church. We were singing that in church. We
Oh,
actually
really?
played. We was funny because I'm sorry, guys, being a musician. We actually, my buddy told me he's an organist. We actually played that like before in church.
Yeah, really.
Like there ain't no grave. Oh, church mother singing this in the church song. Like
Oh,
nah,
right.
that's Johnny Cash.
Right. Yeah. Johnny Cash did do some church stuff for a little bit, but he was
It's like he didn't sing. He just like spoke in
yeah,
rhythm.
he just talked. Yeah, he just
He just talked. I love Johnny Cash. He just talked in rhythm.
yeah, that's really only what he did. So uh yeah, so what are your thoughts on AJ, man, and coming back and the reason why they did that, and as if it kind of looks bad on AJ too, right? Because they're bringing him back to boost ratings only for the Raw that he comes back to be the record lowest Raw. Like that looks bad on him, and it's not his fault
No.
at all.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, Money in the Bank's already done. It's funny because Angry Martin said that. I don't know. It's just a bad spot. It's to the point like just reminds me of '93 and '94. Business was so bad for this WWE, WCW. No matter who would it. I mean, Hogan was dying in the business. I don't care. I don't care who it is. It just I don't know. Like, unless it's The Rock, even Stone Cold didn't help.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, AJ's great. It's good to bring him back, but it's the quarantine, man. It's really hurting. You realize now how important fans are to boost your show.
Yes.
And who would have thought we look back at YouTube, the network, or VHS tapes and DVDs? Who would have thought, wow, people in the crowd, that's a thing of the past
Yeah.
temporarily. So
Exactly.
it's
That's
like,
nostalgia.
wow, people are there. Wow, oh, you get to hold hands and shake hands and
Remember that? Remember
yeah,
those days in 2019 when
right. Remember that? One of them
those were the
days
days.
post WrestleMania, you get the headache and coming up like 30 flights of stairs to get Tylenol.
Yes.
No, we was freezing cold of Batista and Triple H's match. We could
Yes.
sit next to each other. We could hold hands and cheer.
I had a black hoodie on. It was a short sleeve hoodie, and I was just kind of putting my arms in my hoodie, just like the whole time trying to get warm of some sort. My head, I was so cold, and my head was just like beating. It was ridiculous.
Look, guys, I lied to you not. After the first match, about 3 matches, Chris was like this,
Yeah, yeah, I was
like
grimacing.
the whole time,
Yeah, I was
like dreads and all this flying in the wind.
grimacing.
This thing, it's even used the title belt as a help because it was cold.
Yeah.
Uh,
I was grimacing, man. It was, and this year I was trying to, um, and this year I was trying to say, you know what, I'm gonna redeem myself and enjoy it and get back. And we were ready to go, and I was excited about it, but Then Rona happened. And then old Rona happened.
I'm not gonna let the corona kill my creation.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna let it.
I'm gonna kill it.
I'm gonna kill it.
I'm gonna kill it. All right, next we got Apollo Crews possibly turning.
Oh, I'm sorry. You already know what I'm gonna say.
I hate it.
That's your boy. Where my man Ray Alonso at? Wait, I'm gonna have him type, but I ain't gonna say it.
I hate it.
Apollo Crews looks like the happy black uncle at cookouts.
Yes, he does.
Like this,
Yeah.
He's athletic.
Uncle A.
Yeah, that's what we call him Uncle A, right? Uncle A that's cooking on the grill. Just give him a plaid shirt, give him a smock, and some jeans.
Yes, and tuck the plaid shirt in, have the big belt buckle, and have like some really like
Give him like a
you gotta
toothpick
have
in his
like
mouth.
you should have like pants that crease is just sharp that you like it can cut you, and you have to have that uncle like this kind of flowery shirt, kind of like a Hawaiian shirt and cookout. Yeah, that's Uncle Uncle Larry.
Uncle A.
That's what Apollo Crews.
But this is the thing. Apollo Crews. Alonzo. Let's read this tweet. Apollo Crews equals Chris's Boo Bear.
No. He's not even in my top 5. I see here's
He's in your top 10.
Top 10. Yeah, I'll say top 10. But here's the thing about Apollo Crews. Apollo Crews has so much good talent. Like he is amazing in the ring. And yeah, hey man.
You don't. I know.
Preach, Mo. Preach. But no, look, listen. He is so talented in the ring. And here's the thing. They did a terrible job. I have no idea who came up with the idea and who thought it was a good idea. Say, oh yeah, Apollo Crews. Oh yeah, we'll move him up to the main roster from NXT. Right. He was in NXT for a hiccup, and then he left, losing a series of matches against Samoa Joe. And they're like, okay, this is good enough to bring him on the. And I remember, I think it was the Raw after WrestleMania, and his music came out, and I was like, oh wow, Apollo Crews, what? Like this is weird because they haven't even. I mean, it's happy that hopefully they're giving a push,
right.
But they did a very poor job with him. Here's the thing. Okay, so here's the thing. This Wrestling News is reporting this. So they were told that people are backstage were trying to convince Vince that more should be done with Apollo, and that he's been given so much TV time, and that's why he's been given much more TV time. So the plan is for him to turn heel. He was going to turn on Chad Gable before Vince decided to move him back on Raw. So that's from a source, Paul Davis of Wrestling News. And Wrestling News is a reputable site. I used to write for Wrestling News. Wow. So there you go.
Robbie said,
"I wouldn't like it though. I wouldn't like it. The only way that I think it would work is because this is what I see with Apollo Crews. Him having a dominant heel run for a couple of weeks and becoming like Bobby Lashley. And so like if this is what would work. Because they tried to turn him before with the whole Titus Worldwide, and it didn't work. It was
I forgot about
flop. Yeah, it was an absolute flop. So turning him heel again is going to be the same. I mean, it was a flop. This may work if since MVP's doing this type of thing now, if MVP manages Apollo Crews and Bobby Lashley as a tag
Okay.
team, I would be okay with that. I would think. I think.
Somebody need to talk to him. Talk to
Yeah.
him because
Yeah, I think MVP should manage them. So what this is what should happen. This is what I'd be okay with. Okay, I still don't think Apollo should be a heel. I think Apollo should be United States champion. He should beat Andrade. That I'm still sticking to that. Now, this is how a heel run may work. So basically, you have Brendan Vink and Shane Thorne. I have no idea why they had them go over Cedric Alexander and Ricochet. That was absolutely terrible. We'll talk about that real quick. So, what can happen is this. If it leads to something more, okay, I understand why Vink and Thorne won, but it still makes no sense to me. But if Cedric Alexander and Ricochet beat Vink and Thorne next week or 2 weeks from now, what can happen is MVP can be upset that his stable lost, his two people lost, and he said, "Okay, I got somebody new for you next week. Don't have them come out the same night. Create a cliffhanger. That's how you get ratings. People get excited to watch it the next week. You create cliffhangers." So I was like, all right, you got me. Vink, Thorne, you're out of here. You're no longer with me, blah, blah, blah. So I got somebody for you next week. So what you do is you have Vink and Thorne go against Ricochet and Alexander again the next week, and then the Ricochet and Alexander beat them again, and all of a sudden, you can make it work with these camera angles that you have now because it's there's no like reaction, so you can have a camera angle like focused on Alexander and Ricochet, and then you can somehow make it work to have Lashley and Apollo Crews just beat the brakes off of them, and MVP just kind of looking at the scraps. That would work initially. I want Bobby Lashley to be a babyface too. I'm still saying Lashley Lesnar. I still want to see that. But that would work kind of. I guess if you want to make it, that would work.
It could. It could. They got to put him in tag team. Apollo Crews, you need a mouthpiece.
Yeah, definitely.
You do not need to talk. That's why Brock doesn't talk. Yeah. I hope he's nothing he could do to get over.
Yeah.
So
and
he's so talented, but give him a heel push, give him a heel turn, get him to meet up with Lashley, be a tag team. And some people say like Dean, but Apollo Crews is like up the Lashley's shoulder, if that maybe it's hip.
Yeah.
But that will work.
Ox, like huge diesel dude, but shorter. Yeah.
I mean, that's like
deceptively big though. I've seen him live. He's a big dude. Apollo Crews is.
Yeah, and it kind of reminds you of like the Shorty G thing. It's like, what are you going to do? Thinking. Yeah. Are you?
Yeah, it's. I don't want to see a heel turn, but I just hopefully he gets.
Why are they? It's the thing. He's a black bald-headed dude. It's enough of them going around and wrestling today. How are you going to change your look? What are you going to change your attire? You don't talk.
Right.
You can wrestle. All your athletic, all his whole moveset is a face. He does backflips, cartwheels, DC leaves and do-si-dos.
Yeah.
He would have to literally do a 180, I feel.
Yeah.
To be a heel, because how you gonna be a heel doing a backflip?
Yeah.
That's a face move.
Yeah, exactly. That's the reason why I respect Pac.
Oh yeah, love
Pac.
Big ears.
Yeah. And that's the reason why I respect him so much, because he's a heel. He's a heel. Like he's such an old school heel, and I love it.
Duncan McLeod.
He'll go up to the ring. He'll go up to the third ropes to tease a red arrow, and he'll come down like that. That little nuance right there that gets heat. Absolutely.
He doesn't do the move.
Yeah, exactly. He doesn't do the move.
He rarely does it.
Tease it. He'll get all of the ovation and the pop for it, and he'll just flop right down.
Just remember,
bunch of heat. That's how you get heat, and I love it. That's old school right there.
wait, are you phrasing something from AAW?
I have. You know what else, Mo? I got something to tell you.
Wait, did I?
You ready for
did
this?
I just hear
You ready for this? I've actually been enjoying AEW's content more than I have WWE's content without fans. I've said
Mark
that.
This down. Mark this down.
I said that before. I said that like a couple weeks ago.
a.m. Eastern Time. Post Cinco de Mayo. May 6th. Did I? AEW.
I've said that in previous weeks, and I stand by it because I agree. I'm enjoying. Like, to me, I don't get excited about watching an AEW show. Like, I don't be like, ooh, AEW's on. But at the same time, overall for me, AEW's content is more intriguing. One, because you have wrestlers around as cheering. It don't matter if it's 10 people. Those 10 people, Pineapple Pete and company, they make a world of a difference, even if it's 10 people cheering, because that's what wrestling's all about, feeding off the energy of the crowd. That is huge, and AEW does that. And this is something I noticed from WWE that made Raw actually watchable, is AEW has incentivized themed shows, and so TNT tournament is what they've been doing. And so that creates some type of incentive for us to watch. There's a cause to it. You're not just throwing matches together like Raw does of people we haven't seen in a while. We've been seeing Dejournette, job out, to people every week, you know what I mean? And just like who like you're literally bringing jobbers or enhancement talent every single week. This week was that super small dude or that last week that Sheamus just beat the brakes off of, Leon Ruff. Come on now, man. I mean,
like an old NWA
Akira Tozawa's been a jobber on Raw, or enhancement talent. Well, it's been more of a jobber because he's not really enhancement talent. Danielle Vidot. I mean, come on now. Like, you're having Indy Hartwell. You're having all of these names. I mean, Santana Garrett, Bianca Belair. We didn't even see Bianca Belair. One of the hottest names. One of the most intriguing parts of WWE, of wrestling, of Raw, just debuted a few weeks back. We see no part of Bianca Belair at all, and it's like it can't be a travel issue because her husband was there. So I don't understand the rhyme or reason when it comes to WWE programming, and they legitimately have competition right now, and AEW Dynamite, I'm looking forward to something. Like, I'm looking forward to see who wins the TNT championship. There's an incentive. There's an incentive to it. There's a reason to watch the show instead of just a crowdless, a crowdless show that does not look like it's been produced well. You're just throwing matches together. Vince has this thing, and all the WWE wrestlers I've interviewed, a lot of them, you and I both, have talked to him behind, off air. And Vince has this thing where he's like, well, it's good pal. They're going to watch it anyway. So, he has this thing that they're going to watch it anyways. Like, he's really stuck on that. And as you see with the ratings, a record low, Vince, it's probably time for you to get out of that mindset and realize they're not just going to watch anything that you put together. That's for sure.
Especially now.
Exactly.
Before the pandemic, the ratings wasn't that good anyway.
Right.
And then now the fact
it was
that
under 3 before
it was under 3.
Yeah.
Now with the pandemic, you have about 80% of the United States, which is, you got Texas, you got Georgia that's opening up. I heard Nevada might be soon.
Mhm.
There's 80%, 85% of the U.S. still basically locked down. And it's so much content, and it's no fans, so that's even worse. Where fans are like, I'm not watching this. Why? I got Netflix, I got Hulu, I got
Right.
torrents, I got this to watch, I got that, I got home videos, old DVDs, and like I said, it's even more now more than ever. You gotta have purpose to your show. And like
Absolutely.
you said, AEW, it feels like it's purpose. Just a little bit of the boys being there doing fun stuff.
Yeah.
Even Stevie Ray mentioned talking to him the other day. He was like, "Man, why don't they just do cardboard cutouts of people?" That was hilarious. Like cardboard cutouts is something funny.
Yes.
AEW is taking it and using their creative juices.
Yeah.
WWE is just it's like the old school Raw. Remember Warzone? There's Stone Cold Steve Austin,
Yes.
DX,
Right.
flat rock bottom. Like
Right.
no fans. Like what? Like like the old school
Oh, man.
NES, old school pro wrestling, or the old school. I mean, even if you like the old studio syndicated shows like the Worldwide or Georgia, when it
Yeah.
was so black you can't see nothing but the ring. At least we saw a hit or two. But
Yeah. Yeah.
just
Absolutely.
raw, and I'm not down in WWE. You know we're objective, but looking at Raw and SmackDown, it's like nothing. You don't see any dust. You don't even see like a fly. Is this why is there even chairs for what?
And
No
why are they
one's
still
there.
not playing to the camera? Like I said this before, like play to the camera. Drew, I've seen Drew do this, I've seen other people do this. But who are you cheering to? Like when you get up on the ropes and you do this, there's nobody you're looking at. So why are you pretending that you're doing it? Again, that's another Vince-ism. That's another unwritten rule. Don't look at the camera, pal. Okay, well, look, if there's
Yeah,
nobody there, you have to look at the camera because the
yeah,
camera's your fans. You know, that's the reason why when Kenny Omega cut that promo, I appreciate him doing that. When Edge cut his promo and looked at the camera,
yeah.
you felt it as
You
opposed to
got
looking out to nobody. What you felt it when
and
he cut that promo on the
and,
camera.
and Mike Ronda tell you this with his great producing in movies and TV, and I know as a TV host, learning from him and being a TV host, you gotta play to the camera, the hard camera. You gotta look at it 95.9 times. You look at the camera, you play it, so the audience know that you're addressing them.
Yep.
Like we're in our houses, we have webcams. We're looking at our cameras when we're not looking up something, so the audience knows watching Facebook Live or YouTube knows we're paying it to them. We're not just sitting here like this.
Right.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
W.
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 Oh.
You do that too.
I'm going to inject
I'm not gonna let
poison.
a poison. Yeah. W. No, I'm gonna paint my chair. I'm gonna get a lift, and I'm actually gonna get some white out. I'm gonna paint NWO one day. And thank you. Thanks, Shadow, for the hair. Um, I'm actually gonna paint this chair, and I'm gonna get some lifts. And right
Nice.
one time soon, I'm gonna do it. You're just gonna turn around, you're gonna see it.
I love it.
Or I might even just do a slogan each week. I might do NWO. I may put like Chris's Bull Bear, hashtag Club
Chris
Tears,
doesn't have a boo bear.
slogan,
No boo bear from Chris. Zero.
hashtag Toast.
Except for my beautiful wife.
Oh yes,
Uh,
shout out to Mr. Featherstone.
absolutely.
The great. You got. I'm gonna give your wife a shout out, like Vince WrestleMania 3. The great. This is Featherstone. Yeah, dude.
Right.
Remember that WrestleMania
Welcome
3.
to WrestleMania. All right, let's do this real quick. Jimmy Uso injured, out 6 to 9 months. Man, what a terrible time to do that. Any
This is the thing.
terrible time.
Hell,
Actually, you know what's so funny, because it's actually
dude.
not as bad because he can still come back right before Mania. So if it's it's anytime it's bad to get an injury. But if you're going to get injured, if you do get injured, you would want to do it like right out, like a month or two after Mania, because you typically the biggest injuries usually 6 to 9 months, usually Achilles, knee, something like that. So he suffered the knee injury, most likely during the Money in the Bank qualifying match, which is why they which is why they replaced the Usos with the Forgotten Sons, which I was very upset that the Forgotten Sons pinned the tag team champions, pinned from former world champion Kofi Kingston. That was terrible. And so I
didn't get that. Like,
yeah, last year this time he was world champion. You know what I mean? And he gets pinned by a Forgotten Son. That was terrible.
I still can't tell them apart. But are you really going to notice? That's the problem. Usos was so hot last year, and then now it's like, oh, it's the Usos. And now with things going the way it is, you know, Jay, now you have this Jay. He's not going to work singles, so
No.
Reigns has been wild. Reigns has been wild, so you can't team it up with Reigns. Now your Jax, he has no kin there to help him out. So what's he gonna do?
That's a good. I mean, you know what? I mean,
he's wrestling some things, man.
I can see him. I can see them jobbing him out for a second, man. Because they're not going to have him sit on the sidelines and make all that money just to do nothing. They'll probably just have him do the jobber entrance and lose to people like Bobby Lashley or something like that. I can see that. Unfortunately, I can see that. All right, we got about 5 minutes left. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the flavor of the week. Let's do this.
It is now time for the flavor of the week.
All right, worst tag team names, y'all. Let's spend the next 5 minutes to talk about the worst tag team names that you guys.
Oh, I got it.
And real quick, Raw and SmackDown review, y'all. Just grades. Y'all know we don't really talk about Raw and SmackDown here. Bits and pieces throughout but yeah, grades. Just do grades. And then also your
Let me say him in the Vince voice.
The Ding Dongs. No, that's terrible.
The Dicks.
Yeah. Oh, that was terrible. What else some bad? What was the oh gosh, what was the two bald head guy's name?
The Geminis.
Yeah, the Gemini. Yeah.
Ding Dongs, the Monkeys.
Oh, yeah, that was pretty bad. Ding Dongs was the first person I thought of was that was terrible.
TDs with attitudes. I did not like that. That was so 1990.
Daniel says. Raw D, SmackDown C. I think that's pretty legit.
Come on, Jeff. I can't say the Killer Bees. Just talking about my man Brian Bland now.
Head cheese.
I like the Killer Bees. Yeah, head cheese.
Yeah, that's what prompted me to. That's what prompted me to have this favorite of the week tonight. Was the Blackman interview. Special shout out to Steve Blackman again, man. That was I enjoyed that. It was pretty cool.
Team Act.
The Core, yes, that was horrible with 2 R's.
That's a stable though.
What a disgrace. Yeah, I mean they teamed up as a Core though. They did tag.
Yeah, League of Nations.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Like,
on paper, that could have been a good name, but the way that they did that was just terrible. But the Core with 2 R's was absolutely horrible. And Rick, super cool dude. We actually chat a lot. He's starting to get it really big into Christian apologetics, and we chat a lot. And man, for someone as big and beastie as Rick, Ezekiel Jackson. Yeah. I kept thinking Elliott. No, not the former Ohio State current Dallas running back, Ezekiel Jackson. For someone as freakishly big as he is, man, perhaps it was a decent, thing for him because it gave him television exposure, but I think that name was bad. Mean Street Posse. I think that was actually a pretty nice name. I like that name actually.
Air Boom.
Says,
well done. I forgot about that.
Well done. Oh yeah, that was pretty bad.
Well done.
SmackDown C.
Rob Axel.
Rob Axel was pretty funny actually. Slater Gator. Yeah, that was a pretty bad name. I think it was kind of cheesy. Like it was kind of like head cheese. Like it was kind of like gimmicky, but yeah.
I got one, even though the Amazing French Canadians.
Really? You think that was a bad name?
That was so. I like the team. It was so default.
Yeah.
Techno Team 2000. Yeah,
name. That's true. Yeah.
Really? I got one.
There's no way. This is one of the best names ever. Mega Power.
But you gotta do the strong. You gotta do the strongest handshake in the world.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I love
the strongest one is. Remember that?
I love me and my dude.
The handshake.
Me and a good buddy of mine, we shake every time we see each other's. Every time we see each other, we do the Mega Powers handshake. You gotta gird it. You gotta hold it up like that. You gotta dig real deep. Yeah. And it's so funny how Savage sold that. It's so funny because Hogan did the handshake, and then when Savage when he shook his head, he like dipped down. It's just like he sold it.
Yeah,
really good. That was hilarious.
Yeah. Mexico. And the only other.
Yeah.
Don't look at 4 kids, Jeff. Like that picture, Jeff. What are you holding? Is that a nutcracker? What is Jeff holding?
It seemed like it. Next.
Look.
Oh yes, Mo. Yes, Techno Team 2000. What a horrible name.
The other great handshake, probably the Carl Weathers and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
With the bicep.
Yep.
I can't say what you if you don't know what Arnold said when he did the handshake, I can't say it on this show and I won't.
Yeah. West Hollywood Blondes. Yeah. I like the Hollywood Blondes name. I think the West Hollywood Blondes is. I love the Austin and Pillman Hollywood Blondes name. That was
No Limit Team, No Limit Soldiers.
Oh gosh, what a
Big Swole. I ain't talking about
Ever Ride. The new NXT team. I think that's pretty generic. I agree. No way. High Energy. No way, man. I loved High Energy. That is pretty generic.
Wait. What's my man? My buddy Coco be wearing Norvell Austin. What was that? PYT.
You're pretty young thing.
Norvell Austin was so black and greasy with those glasses. All you saw was if you don't know who Norvell Austin is, I don't even know if he's alive or not. But me and Coco joke this to this day. That man, PYT.
That was around the time where they had the name Pork Chop Cash.
Pork Chop Cash.
What a old school
brown sugar
African American. Yes, sweet brown
Pork Chop Cash. Pork Chop Cash. Pork Chop Cash. Charlotte Greens. They were like, you can't be no more stereotypical, man.
Collard Greens and Wing Day.
Collard Greens,
Chop Cash, baby.
That pig. That pig feet person.
You got the Coco meat. Actually, he was Coco Ware at that time. He was
Coco Ware, right.
He was Coco Ware in Memphis. Coco Ware. You got Pork Chop Cash.
You gotta do the Norvell Austin. We used to talk.
Yeah. There was somebody else around that time too that was actually pretty popular. Oh,
Rocky King, the greatest black jobber
Rocky
next to
King.
SC Jones.
Who else was real big at that time? Like he wasn't real big, but he was
You talking about black people? That's the names.
black people names.
Brickhouse. Oh man, Brickhouse
Brown. Yeah, that was another one.
Butch Reed.
Yeah, Hacksaw Butch.
Junkyard Dog.
Yeah, I'm
Coco
talking
Ware,
kind of like a enhancement, like mid card type of.
Yeah, McCard.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Brick House, but it was one. There's another one I was thinking of. But we can hop off after that. Who was it? No, it wasn't Bad News Brown. That's for sure.
Bad News is later.
Let me see.
Man, I'm trying to look it up now.
So Brickhouse Brown, Slick Wagner Brown. That was another one.
Ooh, Slick Wagner.
These names, man. Rufus R. Jones.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Rocky King, of course. He's gonna come up. Thunderbolt Patterson. That's who it was. Thunderbolt Patterson, baby. Thunderbolt Patterson.
I give it. Heaven high. That's what he said. You talked to him on face. I talked to him last month. Hey, brother, heaven. You gotta do Thunderbolt. Heaven high, brother.
Right.
Heaven high. That's how I do Patterson.
Yeah, man. Yeah, there was a lot of old school type of black names for sure. All right, y'all.
There's
go ahead, Evan. Before we
Hart Throbs.
Yeah.
Mike Ryan said Dana top 5 black enhancement talents in the next 3 years.
That last at least 3.
He even had black in 3 years. All right, haven't been no black.
Yeah. Cell Dejournette, that guy who's losing every week now. He's a big dude too, but he got jacked up by Seth Rollins and Sheamus, I think it was. All right, y'all.
Heaven high.
You're right. Heaven high.
Thunderbolt.
It has been an honor, ladies and gentlemen.
It has been an honor.
It has been an honor. Subscribe to the Crave Wrestling YouTube channel. And man, look, this has been great. It's still super lit tonight. Still a super lit room. It's absolutely fun. It's past 1 o'clock in the morning. There's still a lot of people on the chat room. That's still awesome, y'all. So, all right, man. We're gonna cut it off for tonight. For now, be sure to subscribe to the Crave Wrestling YouTube channel. As you see, we are live now. The Crave Wrestling YouTube channel. How about that? It'll probably be something that may happen every week, but it may not. We'll see. We'll see. But of course, we are wrestling. And there's other opportunities that may come up. Just beware. Just beware. Just Coco beware. Go ahead, Ev.
Russ, real quick, just got a tweet. Video game fans, looks like King of Fighters.
Dancing Fool.
And WWE is going to be doing a video game together.
Oh, okay. Nice.
So, better than that 2K20.
Yeah.
We got to go. We're out of time.
We got a time. All right, everybody. Go. It's been an honor. A big shout out to Steve Blackman for coming on the show live. Of course, we got another wrestler interview coming up live next week. Same bad time, same bad channel. Until next Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen, it has been an honor on behalf of this guy right here, Evan Tech Prout. Follow him at tech_UTMR. Yeah.
Gotta do the reverse. Yeah, there you go. Gotta do the reverse. Yeah.
On behalf of that, enjoy Ricky Wrestling. God bless. And always remember, I'll do it for you. Have a good night, everybody. God bless. Bye-bye.
Good night, everybody.
Peace.